told them to pick a song that reminded them of me. They picked fucking Daddy Yankee, baby. Yeah! Daddy Yankee's #1 demographic right here. 100%. Now, how you guys feeling? You guys good? Really, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be out of the house. It's nice to be an alcoholic in other places now, right? Yeah, you know? It's fucking great. I'm home. I went to a bar, though, the other day, and there was a bartender I didn't know, and he referred to me as the definition of harmless. Yeah, that fucked my whole experience up. You know what I mean? I was like, just say what you want to say. I know what I look like. You know what I mean? I look like I work at a GameStop. Like I got a fucking GameStop body, 100%. So hit me up after the show. We'll talk pre-orders. We'll get you. Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not. I tried to work out during the fucking quarantine, but I'm skinny fat, man. Any of those skinny fatties out here? Yeah, where my skinny fatties at, baby? Hell yeah. We're proud people. Hell yeah, right? Yeah. You look great, by the way. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm skinny fat, man. It means I have like no muscle mass, but I have a stomach like one of those Salvador Dali clocks, you know? Just fucking melts over my stomach. It's the worst. People are like, how did that happen to you? I'm like, I don't know. My mom breastfed me on Pop-Tarts, dude. That's like, that's what it was. She went skip the formula and went right to wild cherry, dude. That's me. No, I don't know, man. I love my mom. My mom, it was just me and her growing up. And my mom is, we have a really close relationship. And I was worried about her during the fucking pandemic because she was immunocompromised, right? At one point she had pains in her chest, right? So I freaked out, took her to the hospital. They didn't find COVID, but they did find nodes in her lungs, right? Nodes in her lungs. And she's fine, totally benign, like she's totally good. But at the time, I was freaking out. I was like, that could be cancerous, like nodes in your lungs, that could be really bad. This is how little my mom knows about the world. I was like, are you okay? Are you worried about this? She's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I was like, you're fine? You're not worried about the nodes in your lungs? She looked me dead in my eyes. She was like, Seamus, it's my lungs. They grow back. I was like, all right, let's fire up that will. Let's fucking... All that shit goes to me, right? Only child, that's a fucking paycheck, baby. No, yeah. No, I love my mom. I love my mom. I took her out to we went to a Tibetan restaurant the other day to get some Tibetan food. I'd never been. If you've never had Tibetan food, it's basically just like Chinese food plus. You know what I mean? It's like Chinese food, but they got wonton soup, egg rolls, all the shit you'd expect, and then they have some Tibetan items that you've never fucking heard of, right? And I was like, well, I'm here for Tibetan food. I've had Chinese food. I want to order the Tibetan stuff. And I wanted to pronounce it correctly so I could like impress the waitress. I don't know, I'm a fucking psycho, right? And so I ordered this fucking soup and I butchered it, right? Butchered it so bad to the point where the waitress gave me like a thumbs up, like, yeah, nice try, you fucking idiot. Yeah. You tried, right? And my mom looked at the menu and got overwhelmed immediately. She bailed immediately. She just pointed to the menu and she was like, I just want this. I just want this. And she made the lady like bend over and look at the menu, right? And the lady goes, oh, so you want the chili chicken? I was like, Mom, those are 2 words we know. She was like, there was 2 L's in the chili. I was like, well, you can take a fucking crack at it. You can try it out. She was like, I didn't want to look dumb. I was like, well, you looked like you couldn't read. So that's fine. No, I love my mom. I love my mom. She just learned how to text during the pandemic, too. Finally had to, right? She couldn't communicate with the outside world, had to figure out a phone she's had for 10 years, right? She finally figured out how to text, but she's not a good texter. Like, I'll hit her up. I'll be like, hey, what's up, Mom? Every text I send this woman, she responds with those kissy face emojis. You know, those little smiley faces. I'll be like, hey, what's going on, Mom? How are you? How are you? How's it going? She's like, ooh. And that's confusing, man. Because she almost never responds to my dick pics. Yeah, almost never. What does she do? She's like, you're a terrible son. I'm like, you're a big fucking tease. Like, I'm just here to party, baby. Send me the yams. Stop playing. That's gross. What is that? It's crazy though. Like me and my mom, we had a really close relationship, and it got in the way of like other relationships I had with women, like when I was growing up. You know, like, I remember one time I was laying in bed with my ex, and she turned to me and she's like, "You are such a mama's boy." I was like, "I am not a mama's boy, right, Mom?" Don't fuck three-way kiss. No. All right, incest. Do all your incest jokes, guys. Mike's just back there writing. Yeah, no, I can't let that joke go. I know it's a fucked up joke, but like, I did that one time. I did a show and my mom came and sat in the front row, right? And I still did that joke. I still did that fucking joke. And then she gave me a ride home, because that's the kind of piece of shit I am. I was like, I need a ride, Mom, right? And she's driving me home, and at one point, I can never let that joke go, right? She turned the car off at one point, and she turns around and she goes, hey, so that dick pic thing, that's just like a joke, right? Yeah. Well, you tell me. The night is young. Listen, she was driving me to my house with my stuff, all right? No, okay, that's too far. Yeah, no, I'm gonna switch topics from incest. Okay, I'm gonna get off the incest train. You're all take a deep breath now. You guys Eagles fans? Hell yeah, man, hell yeah. I'm a huge Eagles fan. I grew up in a big Eagles family, big football family, you know? Yeah! Hell yeah! My uncle's here, right? Yeah. No, I grew up in a big football family, right? Obviously, you know, I didn't play. People laughing at it hurts my feelings. Yeah, my dad was like, you got one of those art bodies. You're gonna make some fucking art. No, but my grandma was the biggest Eagles fan I ever met in my life. She was a huge Eagles fan. She had Eagles everything, like hoodies, bedspreads, like every piece of merch. She had it, right? And she passed away like right before we made it to the Super Bowl, right? Yeah, that sucked. It was really tough. It was a tough year. But after that, I wasn't surprised that we made it to the Super Bowl, and I wasn't surprised that we won. Because I'm a very spiritual person, and I knew that my grandma was a fucking jinx. I was like... you gotta get this bitch out of here. I don't need a grandma, I need a ring, baby. As soon as she died, I was like, we're going. Yeah, it's a tough year though. I come from a really big family too, and like I'm skinny fat, my family's just like regular old fat, right? Just like normal, regular fatties, right? And it's actually what I love them, they're the best. But we had a lot of people pass away that year, it really sucked, and I was a pallbearer for all those funerals, right? That's like a lot of heavy lifting, you know what I mean? That's a lot. And then I'm a pallbearer for the last funeral, right? And they were carrying the casket out of the church. My uncle's on the other side. He's a big guy. He's like 450 pounds. He's a big man, right? And we're carrying this casket out of the church, and he turns to me and he goes, hey, someday you'll do this for me. And I was like, that's what the fuck you think. Absolutely not. I was like, get buried in like a book bag with the wheels on it. Like, I'll fucking... I'll take you on the steps, you know? I had like a slip and slide funeral. I just kicked that shit out the church. So I'll do that. I was like, get cremated, dog. I'll carry some of you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not invited to a lot of families get together. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got Wawa for breakfast today. Anybody else doing the same shit out here? Okay, that's a real power move. Be like, what's up? It's 8:30, make my hoagie right. I got disposable income. No, I went and I got a hoagie, right? And I hit the little button on there that says a little bit of mayo. A little bit, I don't want a lot. You don't have to fucking, just a little bit of mayo. I don't know what the fuck little bit of mayo means to Wawa, but it looked like my hoagie just got off a casting couch. Like it looked like they just fucking bukkake my shit, right? And I was like, waste not one, none. I started to make that shit like fucking roast pig at 8:30, just eating the Wawa hoagies, yeah. Yeah, it was best, man, it was the best. I don't know, I grew up poor. Anybody else grew up poor here? Oh yeah, always like one clap for the back. Keep that that, man. We had a hard life. We just made it. Yeah, no, it's just me and my uncle, and it was kind of rough. But like, so I was poor growing up, but now that I'm poor as an adult, I'm like, damn, this shit is just my fault. Like, I'm just bad at putting the pieces together. Like, I'm a bad fucking adult, right? I would love to donate money if I could to like charities and shit. I had this guy come knock on my door from the Christian Children's Fund. Are you familiar with this foundation? Some guy comes and he knocks on your door and he's like, hey, for $1 a day, you could save a kid's life. I was like, oh shit, $1 a day. I could probably manage $1 a day, you know? He was like, yeah, that's only $30 a month. And I was like, oh shit. No. $30, like, you should have done the math for me, what the fuck? $30 a month, that's like 3 fucking Netflix accounts. Are you kidding me? I don't even pay for one. Use my morals, man. He's like, I'll sweeten the pot for you, I'll sweeten the pot for you. The longer you sponsor a kid, eventually the company will sponsor you to visit that kid anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. Then he handed me this pamphlet of like 16 kids, and he was like, now which one of these kids do you want to save? I was like, oh, alright. I'll play this game. And I flipped through every single kid. I flipped through every single kid, and I got to the end, and I was like, you know what? None of these kids live in Hawaii. Like, none of these kids. Anywhere I want to fucking go, man. Where'd you go on vacation, Seamus? Oh, somewhere where they shit outside. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I like being poor in America. It's the best fucking place to be poor, you know what I mean? I could go to any of those countries and brag about my moderate wealth. They were like, what's up, kids? I own a bunch of shirts I just wear to bed. Like, I'm the man. Sure, you have Super Bowl shirts. Mine have the winners on them. You guys are a cool crowd. You're laughing at these poor-ass kids. Sorry, cool crowd, baby. I'll tell you this, everybody had a weird 2020. I feel like my friend Amanda had the weirdest 2020 of all, though. She topped us all. She found out midway through the pandemic that she was supposed to be a twin. Right? Supposed to be a twin. The way she found out was her mom had stomach pains. They rushed her to the hospital and they did x-rays on her, and they found teeth and hair that were the same age as my friend Amanda. Right? Yeah. What? You know what that means? It means she was a twin in the womb, and then somewhere along the line, she just consumed that motherfucker. Like, 2 entered, 1 left. Like, the strongest survived, right? And she told me this story, and she capped it off with, and the craziest part of this story, the craziest part, is that I almost never get sick. I was like, is that the craziest part? It sounds like you fucking ate somebody. Like, that's the fucking craziest part. Like, you should lead with that. Like, of course you don't get sick. You have the strength of 2 men. Like, if Tia ate Tamara, she'd be a fucking gold medalist. She'd be tugging on everybody. The producers would be like, we got this great new show. It's just called Sister. It's just... All right, I'm Seamus. You guys have been fucking awesome.